Hi, welcome back to Susan's Kitchen Corner, and on this episode we're going to be making beans. There's lots of different types of beans. These are pinto beans, and they're really good for making taco beans, and you can put them in soup if you want, bean dip, and then let's see, we have navy beans, and these beans are white. And the thing about beans, no matter what type of bean they are, they're all going to be basically cooked the same. It's the same. These are black-eyed peas. Black-eyed peas. And these are a lot of noise. These are kidney beans, and this is what you use to make chilies with. There we go. So basically, what you do is, I'm going to use the black-eyed peas, and you rip the bag open, and you're going to want to put them onto a cookie tray, like this. Dump them out. And, oh wow, that one has a huge rock in it. Look at this. See, this is what you don't want to eat. You get one of these in your teeth, you're going to be going to the dentist. So that's a no-no. So this is why we put it on the tray. You spread it out. Oh my God, there's another one. Look at this. These are from the field. These are jawbreakers. These will break your teeth. And the reason we do this is because of that. Because when you're eating your delicious beans, you're going to hear crack. And that's going to be your tooth breaking. So look around. Dig out all the rocks. I mean, I think this is the biggest rocks I've ever found in them. But there might be some tiny ones, but just gently look it over. Okay, I'm not seeing anything else. There might be a few half beans, but that's okay. Okay, now we can use a stock pot, or we can use a small little pot. And what we're going to do right now is we're going to put them in the pot, wash them out, because you know these are, let's put these in the pot. This is the challenging part. So you have to be all in the cookie tray, but just funnel them in there, fill it up with water, and let's wash these suckers off, because I want to eat clean beans. So fill it up, stir it around. Drain it off. And then what we're going to do is we're going to fill it up with water once again. But this time we're not going to dump the water out. We're going to leave the water in. So fill it all the way to the top if you're going to use a small one. Because what we're going to do is we're going to let this set overnight, and the beans will absorb the water, but you don't want to absorb it. You want enough water in there so in the morning there's still water covering the beans. And again, beans all cook the same. So whether they're black-eyed peas, beans, or pinto beans, kidney beans, it's the same thing. The next morning, what you're going to do is you're going to pour off the water of the beans. Add new water, same height. So see if you can see the edge of the water, how it's high, like that. Re-add the water. And this is just the basic cooking beans, because you can do a lot of things. If you want to add spices, you can add spices to it. If you want to add, you can add, what I suggest is when you're cooking them, add either a half of onion or a whole onion, some carrots, some celery. See, it's almost like soup. And sometimes you don't want to throw away the broth. Broth you can add to other things, like if you're going to make another soup, you can add the broth to that. So it's like there's a lot of things you can do with it. Okay, we get back on track here. Okay, what you're gonna want to do is, let's say this is the next morning. Put your fixins on the stove top. Hello. And turn it to high. And you're going to want to bring it to a boil. Put a lid on it, which I have a lid somewhere. I have lids with holes in them. And this comes in so handy because gas tends to get things really hot. So put the lid on it, turn it to high, bring it to a boil. As soon as it's brought to a boil, you want to turn it down to low. And you want to simmer it for about an hour, but you want to watch it. So here's what I'm going to do. I cooked up some pinto beans. As you can see, I cooked up a whole lot of them. And with beans, they go through stages when they cook. So the first stage is they're gonna, I don't have any examples, but I'll try. Let's see if I can find something here. I wasn't thinking about this part, but there's always a half bean. And watch, now there isn't a half bean. Okay, so here's a half a bean, right? Well, what's a half a bean got to do it? Well, when they first start cooking, some of them are gonna be half, and they're really super hard, and you can't. It's like really hard. You can't eat that. So as it progressively cooks, it'll get nutty. What I mean by nutty is you'll be able to break it apart. I mean, if you taste it, you can break it apart, but it's still not going to taste good. What finally happens is, watch when I take my fingers. See, it's not going to split into two. It's going to squish, and that's what you want. You want it to be really soft, and that's when it's done. So, but if you squish it, and it goes into two separate halves. Now see, this isn't two separate halves. This is really squished. Then that's when it's good. So it's going to be really soft, and what I suggest to do also is test them along the way as they cook, because if you don't, you're going to overcook them. You want them good, and when you think they're right, take a couple of them, put them in your mouth. If they're soft, great. If they're nutty, keep them cooking. And then what you do is over here, here's all the broth. Now it looks like mud. It really does. Don't get scared. It's going to be really super hot, so you can leave this out for an hour. This is fine out for an hour. What you're going to do, and I have over here, be careful, don't spill it. Get a muffin tin. Fill them up, right? And when they're frozen, get a plastic bag. Pop them out and put them in the plastic bag. You can add this to whatever you're going to cook. If you're going to cook some soup, add a cube. If you want to use all of this for soup, put it in with the raw chicken as much as you want. It adds extra flavor. This is what the beans, this is where all the vitamins are. When you boil anything in water, the vitamins go into the water. So this is where the vitamins are. So if you don't want to do this and you think this is too gross, don't do it. It's all up to what you want to do. But there's a lot of potential with this. So I'm going to put this in the freezer right now, so I don't spill it. Okay. And this needs to go in the refrigerator. And again, let it sit out for an hour. Stick your finger in it. Go, oh, that's not too bad. Because if you put it in the refrigerator right hot, excuse me. If you put it in the refrigerator really hot, it's going to raise the temperature in your eggs and your milk. You're going to wonder why your milk went bad really fast. So let me, oh boy, find some room. Shove that in there. Oh boy. Oh no. There we go. Okay. I'm back. Don't worry. Okay. And then with these, you want to get a container. I'm having a coughing spell. Excuse me. Oh, okay. Let's try this again. And you're gonna want to put these in the freezer. Freeze them in a plastic container, and then like this. Hello. Find the lid, which I have not been able to find. Oh, I found it. It's funny, not looking for it, find it. Put in the lid, put the lid on. Let's say this is really super solid frozen, right? And you can't move it one bit. Stick it in the microwave, take the lid off, put it on high for about a minute. And when they start to sound like this, or you can take your hand and loosen them up. I'm having speech problems today. Then you can take out as much as you want. And here's the thing, when they're frozen, like I said before, and here's my pan over here. Put them in water. Put them in the pot with about. Actually, you can use the broth. Take that one of those little broths that are in the refrigerator. Melt the broth and heat it up that way. So you're not cooking them. You're just heating them up to the temperature you want. Put these back in the freezer. And oh yeah. Now I used the whole bag for this one. If you're like, oh my god, that's too many beans, I'm beaned out. What you want to do is take 2 cups of beans, put them in, well, not this big of a pot, but put them in, and then cover up with water. So you're making smaller batches. Again, whatever kind of bean it is, it's the same thing. You gotta watch it. You gotta taste it. You gotta see. Oh, you can't just turn the microwave on for an hour and walk away, because sometimes you'll overcook them and then they'll be mush. So that's about it on beans. And after the video, I'm probably thinking some more stuff I can say about beans. But beans, the musical fruit. The more you eat, the more you toot. How's the rest go?
The more you toot, the better you feel.
The more you toot, the better you feel. So let's have beans at every meal. Okay, toodles.